Hello everyone, in this video we're going to look at translations. Now the first thing you need to know is that a translation is part of the transformation family. Now if you remember, in a transformations you have got reflections, rotations, enlargements, and finally translations, and that's the one we're going to look at today. So when we say translation, what we're actually talking about is a move. We're going to move an object from one place to another. So in this question, we're going to describe the translation of shape A onto shape B. That just means how do we move shape A and make it land onto shape B. Right, the first thing to understand is we're not actually going to move the whole shape. We're going to move a point on that shape. So step one is to find a point. You could choose any of the three vertices. I'm going to choose this bottom left here. We're going to move that point onto the corresponding point onto shape B. So when we do this, we actually count in an X and Y direction. We'll start with the X. So here goes. I'm going to move this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right. And then we're going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. As you can see now that A is mapped onto B. So next we have to describe this in the right way. And the way we do this is by saying translate shape A by vector. Now this is what we need to do now. We have a tall bracket and we say by vector 6, and that was 6 going to the right. It's positive because it's going to the right. And the second one is -7 because it's going down by 7. So on that basis you need to remember that if it's going to the right it's a positive, and if it's going up it's a positive. Therefore obviously going to the left is a negative and going down is a negative. So a quick summary is we don't look to move the whole shape, we look to move a point. So choose a point and make sure that you remain at the same point for your answer. Okay, so we take that point and we look at how far to the right or to the left we go. So the first thing you do is you translate in the X direction first. So we're going right here, that's the X direction. Then what you do is you count whether you go up or whether you go down, and again that's the Y direction, so the Y direction comes second. Once you've done that, you can make the note whether you've moved right or left, and then whether you've moved up and down. Once you've done that, you need to make the statement translate shape A or B or whatever it is by vector. And what you do is you have a tall bracket and your X direction goes in the top, positive going to the right, negative going to the left, and your Y direction goes in the bottom. Again, positive up and negative down. So now it's your turn to have a go. Translate shape A onto B and describe it. Now in this case I've already put the point that you're going to move on here and the corresponding point is there. Once you've done that, have a go at translating shape C onto shape D. However, in this case you've got to decide which corresponding points you're going to use. So just press pause, have a go, and when you're ready to see the answers just press play. So here goes, moving from this point here, moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the left. So that is 7 left. And then we are moving 1, 2 down. So that is 2 down. So in this case we still put the statement translate shape A by vector. Tall brackets, don't forget. What did we move in the X direction? Well, we went 7 left. Well, that is -7. What did we do in the Y direction? We went 2 down, so that is -2. So for the second question, I'm going to translate C to D. I'm going to take this bottom point here and translate it to the corresponding point there. So in this case, we go across to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more, 8. So that's 8 right. And then we go down, in this case, 1, 2. So that's 2 down. Exactly the same as before, we write the statement translate shape C by vector, tall brackets, 8 in the right direction, so 8 in the X, and 2 down, so it's -2. and that's describing translations. So in this question you can see it's slightly different. It doesn't tell you to describe, it actually says translate the shape. That means move the actual shape. So in this case, rather than describing, you're actually drawing. So it says translate shape A, well there's A, by vector -5, that's 5 to the left, and 4, and that's 4 up. Remember, in the x direction the negative to the left, and in the y direction the positive is up. So the process for this is very similar. Again, just choose one of the vertices. I'm going to choose the bottom left, and you're going to move that left 5. So here goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to move it up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could do that bit in pencil and keep it light. So that point is now there, and at this point you actually redraw the triangle. You need to make it exactly the same. So this triangle from the bottom at the right is 2 across, and as you can see it is 3 up. Draw in a triangle, ideally use a ruler, and now we can call that shape A dash. Alright, let's look at the second question then. In this question here we're going to translate shape B, well there's shape B, by the vector -6, -4. Exactly the same as before, you're going to choose a point. So in this case I'm going to choose the bottom left. We're going to go left 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that point here is now here. So we must make sure when we draw this rectangle, if you can see from that point it goes 2 to the right. So our rectangle must do the same. It needs to go 2 to the right from that point. Look at this, that point 2 to the right, same point 2 to the right. So we can draw our rectangle in. So the point is in the corresponding position. That's really, really important. B dash. We need to make sure at all times that the corresponding point is drawn and the shape with the point is identical to the original shape. Okay, so it's your turn. There's 2 questions for you to have a go at. Question 1 is translate shape A by vector -3, 6. And question 2 is translate shape B by vector -6, 1. So press pause, have a go, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. So here goes, hopefully you got these right. So we're moving by -3, that's to the left, and 6 up. So I'm going to choose a point, that one there, moving it -3, that's left 3, 1, 2, 3, and moving it up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that point is now there. So I draw in that triangle, and that's classed as A dash. Okay, for the second one we do a similar thing. So this time we're looking at -6, which is 6 to the left. So again I choose a point, I go 6 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 1, it's a positive direction, so it's 1 up. Okay, so that corresponding point is there. I now draw in that rectangle, again making sure that the point is in exactly the same place on the rectangle for B dash as it is for B. And there we go, hopefully got both those right. One thing to notice on these questions is that actually the X and Y axes didn't make any difference at all. So just bear that in mind, whether you've got a grid piece of paper or whether you've been given axes, they don't matter, okay? So all you need to do is move that shape by the given vector.